what does that sound like? No president has ever taken on the CIA and come out looking good. That's JFK. That's right. John F. Kennedy came out against the CIA, and he did not come out looking good. He was murdered. He was assassinated. This is the most researched conspiracy theory of all time. Right here. This is it. And everyone has come to the conclusion that the CIA murdered JFK. Almost everyone. Now, was it under the influence of the communists? Was it under the influence of Cubans? As some say, the military-industrial complex. Ultimately, it's the CIA. Maybe it's the CIA looking for the military-industrial complex interests, or it's infiltrated by communists, or I would say the big banks were behind this. So there it is. That's the threat. That's a threat. Donald Trump, you go against the CIA, you will be murdered. This is a threat. And it was taken down. This was taken down. Hey, I am going to cover something really interesting that my friend found, and basically the CIA just threatened to do something to Donald Trump that makes him come out not looking so good. So this is a Wall Street Journal article that has been archived, and I'll explain that in a minute, but essentially the article is about the president-elect's criticism of the national intelligence agencies, or the office of the director of the national intelligence, which would be James Clapper, but he heads up all 17 intelligence agencies. I don't know why we need so many, but we do have a lot, and they all have this thing about the election being hacked in favor of Donald Trump. And this article is kind of describing how he's been critical of their assessment that the election was hacked. However, they're going to be reporting this information to Donald Trump. So they're going to be reporting the results of their investigation on the Russian hack of the election to Donald Trump, but they'll also be reporting it to Obama, which, of course, Obama is already on their team. He already believes that the election was hacked by Russia in favor of Donald Trump. So they're going to say to Donald Trump, they're going to be like, this is what we found. We found that the election was hacked in your favor. Let's prosecute, or, let's go after them. It's, excuse me, I have a cold. They are just completely insane. They've gone overboard this time. But this threat is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. And my friend brought it to my attention, my friend John, and he's the only one who's seen this. So this is breaking news. This is a breakthrough, and I hope you spread it around. Please, let's get this out there. This is very important. Okay, getting right into it. The name of the article is Donald Trump Plans Revamp of Top U.S. Spy Agency. So President-elect works with advisors on restructuring office of the Director of National Intelligence. So this is just very critical, kind of veiled criticisms, talking about his allegiance to Assange in his tweets, Trump's allegiance to Assange in the WikiLeaks. And, Trump and WikiLeaks have both denied any involvement of Russia in the hack, or the leaks of the DNC emails that were so damaging to Hillary's campaign. Like, it was just like a deluge of revelations of how bad these people are. And if you weren't following, just go through look up most damaging DNC WikiLeaks, and there was like DC leaks and a couple of different sources, but Steve Pachenik said that essentially it was a coup within the international, or the intelligence agencies, the American intelligence agencies, to get to stop Hillary from being in office. That's my assessment, is that Steve Pachenik is telling the truth. And it was kind of a concerted effort, but they're not Russian. I mean, he's a guy who's overthrown Russian governments. So if anything, it's an internal faction that has overthrown our government, and it's a very pro-American faction as far as we're concerned. And that's my assessment. I don't think we have anything to be worried about, except for if they aren't who they were claiming to be. And that ultimately they want to just consolidate power, is a way to put it. But this is a nationalist movement that is globalist, so, or global. It's a global nationalist movement, which aligns a lot with what's going on in Russia. But here in our country, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for any country to be nationalist, in my opinion. So anyway, let me get to the section. I have "come out" as my keyword, and you'll see when I type that otherwise, it doesn't come out. It doesn't show up in the updated article. So this section has been removed. Let me give you the lead up to it. It says White House officials said Trump will be briefed on the hacking report as soon as it is ready. As I was saying, this is ridiculous. They're going to report to him that he hacked his own election, or he had help, or he colluded with Putin. What will you do, sir? You cheated. Are you going to prosecute yourself? Are you going to hang yourself for treason? What's your decision? White House officials have been increasingly frustrated by Mr. Trump's confrontations with intelligence officials. So he says, it's appalling. No president has ever taken on the CIA and come out looking good. Well, I guess this was the White House official, but still, it's coming out in this really high-profile Wall Street Journal article that a White House official said this. What does that sound like? No president has ever taken on the CIA and come out looking good. That's JFK. That's right. John F. Kennedy came out against the CIA, and he did not come out looking good. He was murdered. He was assassinated. This is the most researched conspiracy theory of all time. Right here. This is it. And everyone has come to the conclusion that the CIA murdered JFK. Almost everyone. Now, was it under the influence of the communists? Was it under the influence of Cubans? As some say, the military-industrial complex. Ultimately, it's the CIA. Maybe it's the CIA looking for the military-industrial complex interests, or it's infiltrated by communists, or I would say the big banks were behind this. So there it is. That's the threat. That's a threat. Donald Trump, you go against the CIA, you will be murdered. This is a threat. And it was taken down. This was taken down. No, it's just this whiny article, like, how dare he question this wonderful agency that's so American and so has such a great how dare he question this agency that has such a great legacy of truth and the American way. The CIA is not to be questioned. We're just appalled at this. How dare you? It's pretty horrifying to me that he's siding with Assange over the intelligence agencies. Oh, I'm rather pessimistic This is indeed disturbing that the president should come in with this negative view of the agencies, coupled with his habits on how he absorbs information and so on that don't provide a lot of hope for change. Oh, this is change. We want to overthrow the corrupt organization of the CIA, who is holding us back and siding with China and siding with other interests abroad, Saudi Arabia, siding with ISIS. All of their all of their intelligence is in favor of them. They are against anything that's pro-American. So anyway, this is the updated article. Type "come out," like as in no one has ever come out against or come out looking good when they've gone up against the CIA. That isn't here anymore. So they clearly removed this, and either they realized that that was way too threatening, or they meant for that threat to get out there quickly enough for Trump to read it and then just take it back so that no one pays attention. Here it is. It's archived. No president has ever taken on the CIA and come out looking good. This is a clear reference